Tell me about the camera view better when you get to it.
Okay. I'll take a looky when it comes up live.
Why have I done this all along?
Come on, show us this live. There we go. Thank you very much.
Do it.
Yeah, that's a good bit. I am Reverend Karen. Thanks for everyone for taking part in the quiet energy work portion of our service. Your cooperation in creating the sacred space is greatly appreciated. I'm going to try to sit up straight because I can't do 3 ohms if I'm slouching. Let's do 3 ohms. That was better than last week. Let's have an opening prayer. Divine Creator, thank you for overlighting our service this evening. Thank you for giving us this glorious weather. As always, we look to you for guidance as we go through this service. And as we move through our days to come, we ask that you lead us towards those things that lead us to our higher and better versions of ourselves. So let it be.
So might be.
All right, please open to the first page of your book and we'll say together the universal greeting. If this is new to you, please watch the service workers to follow along with the interactive hand movements.
I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from a higher source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together.
And please turn to the next page and we'll say together the 9 principles of spiritualism. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in all sacred texts are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Reverend Karen, you got something to say?
Yes.
All righty.
Okay, so tonight's meditation is celebrating your own victories. I chose this topic because a lot of times we're all for celebrating other people's victories. You know, we hold the, party for the happy graduate. We celebrate our coworker's promotion. But we're hesitant to celebrate our own victories because we've been told, oh, don't toot your own horn. But the thing is, if we don't celebrate our own victories, no one's going to know that we succeeded. So before tonight's meditation, just try to think of 2 or 3 victories that you've had in your life recently. They can be small, they can be monumentous, but kind of keep those in mind as we go into this meditation. And we're just going to celebrate our victories.
Cool. We welcome your donations to help us maintain our presence in the community. You may donate via our website, circleoflightsdl.org, or our Facebook page. We thank you for your donations. All funds received help us in our mission to seek, develop, and teach the knowledge of the relationship between humanity and spirit. The crystal globe displayed here is filled with prayer and energy for healing Mother Earth and all her children. Everyone is welcome to contribute prayers for world peace and world healing. We invite you to add your energies to the sacred sharing. We'll now say the prayer for spiritual healing, found on the next page, after which there will be a short silence for you to softly say the names of anyone that you would like to receive extra healing this week.
I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God.
Current announcements.
Meeting tonight.
Yep, we have,
Business meeting tonight,
yep. And then we have our
psychic fair,
psychic fair on the 23rd,
starting at
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, running till
5.
5. We will have various readers, energy workers. We will also have some books and crystals and miscellaneous merchandise for sale. Anything else about it?
No, that covers it.
And then coming up in July, we will also have our fire releasing ceremony, which is outdoors because we have a real fire.
Yep.
To help. So if you, do we have a date?
That's the 21st,
21st. And
July 21st.
if there's something that is actually burnable, not toxic in fire, that you want to get rid of, maybe some old notes or something that you want to dispose of in a ritual manner, the fire will be available.
Marriage certificate.
Hey, I know at least one person that did
Yeah.
burn a marriage license in there, a copy. But the fire will be available for symbolically releasing other things like that you want to get rid of.
Speaking of fire-related things, what happens after the psychic fair, our service is going to be a fireside chat. So if
Do
you
we have
have,
a topic yet?
we did not choose a starting point. If anybody has, if one of us has one, we can.
Or if there is some burning question out there that you've always wanted answered
fine.
by us, send us a question.
And we'll use that as a jumping off point for discussing those sort of things. And usually we end up chatting for 20 to 30 minutes. So bring your questions and post them. All right. Once again, we thank you for your donations. Now let's have a prayer over the offering. Provider of all abundance, thank you for this opportunity to give in its myriad ways. Thank you for allowing it to multiply. We seek to raise everybody's vibrations, everybody's needs to be met, and everyone to be further along their path towards reunification with you. So mote it be.
So more be.
We now come to the message portion of the service. Please actively listen to each message. As these come from universal source via our guides, they may be tailored for the individual, but provide wisdom to the whole. Please address questions about messages to the message bearer after service. And to welcome each spirit worker, we sing together to raise the vibrations in our circle. We view the word God as a universal term for deity rather than signifying any one particular path. Our message reader this evening will be Reverend William, and he would like us to sing the Revised Battle Hymn, all verses.
First song in the book, the Sideways. Mine eyes have seen the coming of an age that is to be, when from every limitation I shall know that I am free. For the age is rich in promise, and my soul has eyes to see. God's truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. God's truth is marching on.
My soul has seen the beauty
of a race from sorrow free, an age of faith and justice, truth and love and liberty. And I sing of love's great triumph in this time of jubilee. God's truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. God's truth is marching on. I have seen the freeborn woman standing side by side with man. I have seen the nations brought until there is no tribe or clan. And the warlords all have vanished in the love of man for man. God's truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. God's truth is marching on. Thank you very much. I'm Reverend William. Be working tonight with Sarah and Mikael. Two Hearts, Thundercloud, Mary Dean Arcturus. Nobody on the list?
Nope.
Interesting. I know why that is.
Okay.
Janelle, would you like a message?
Sure.
All right. All right. So there's these different, I don't know if they're all necessarily foods. There's different, like there's these different fruits and vegetables, and there's even a mushroom. And you're peeling off the very thin layers to see like how it's made or what makes it up. And what Spirit's saying to me is that, like, okay, that is helpful, but it only gets you so far. So what they're saying is, so you've had your time of like figuring it out, analyzing it, getting into the little details of it. And since it's food, to me, that represents information that you take in. It could be other things too, like it's produce. It could be something you produce. Like maybe trying to figure out what it, like something inside of you or something like that. And anyway, Spirit saying, like, figuring out and deconstructing it only tells you so much. So now you can just let it be and enjoy it for what it is. Karen. So first I was in a room with these columns, and then they show me columns. So columns like posts, and then columns like rows of people, like an army or something, like a battalion. Okay, and what do you call that? It's like like a quest or a mission to earn a certain achievement. And the key, at least in this step you're in now, is seeing it a different way. Like I came in here and I saw all these upright columns, like those, and then it became rows of people. It wasn't really an army; it was just rows of people or columns. Okay, I just thought of army because that's what they use the word, like 10 columns of 10 or whatever. And so so the background is actually from a video game that Nick and I have been playing, and the focus they gave me on this, on the setting and what was all about, was like you get to, if you finish this mission, you get an achievement and like a medal or something. And so I'm not sure like what context it is in your life, but one of the main keys of where you are now in that process is seeing it a different way. Okay. All right, Karen. This is this is so cool. No, it's so cool. It's like somebody should invent this. So you have this suit of armor, and it's again more like this, like a video game type of armor, where it's more fantasy looking than like regular steel armor. And but it has little knobs like you would have on a like an audio component. Like little knobs on each, like the gloves, the chest, the arms, each have a different these little knobs where you can adjust the vibration. So it's not at all like iron armor or whatever. It will hum, and then it allows you to do different things like jump higher or have stronger defense, things like that. So I mean, to me, that's pretty obvious, man. You get to adjust the vibration however you want, and that determines your like different abilities. Okay.
Nice.
Is that it?
Yep.
All right. Thank you for allowing me to stand to the rules.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll go into the meditation portion of the service, led by Reverend Karen.
All right. All right. Keeping in mind those victories we discussed earlier, assume a comfortable position, arms and legs uncrossed. And as you settle in, take a long, slow, cleansing breath in and out. And as you continue to breathe in and out, release the cares and responsibilities of the day. You can set them aside, and if you need to pick them up later, they'll be there. And as you relax with each breath in and out, pulling in the warm, energy-filled air around us and breathing out your tensions. And as we breathe in and out and relax, we turn our vision inward to that temple that resides on another plane where we have a safe space to do our work. Tonight, as you enter your temple, it is decorated in festive colors, the golds and silvers. And you notice that among all the other decorations, there are also green crowns. And as you pick one up and examine it, you realize that it is a crown of laurel leaves, much like the ancient Greeks used to crown the winner in the Olympiads. And as you approach your working altar, you notice that there's a statuette on your altar, and it is that of a winged goddess. And as you examine the statue, you come to realize that this is a representation of Nike. And Nike is also known as the goddess Victory. Her most famous representation would have been as the statuette being held in the large statue of Athena that once lived in the Parthenon of the Acropolis. And as you continue to contemplate this statue, you take a comfortable seat in your inner temple and you begin to think about your own victories. Maybe it could be a victory as small as getting to work perfectly on time every day this week, or staying within your budget guidelines this week. But it could also be finding a new job in a better situation. It could be literally winning a contest. And as you think about these victories, you realize that while they may be small or large, there was a lot of energy that you put into these victories. The energy may not have gone in at the very end. It may have been building up slowly, developing a good habit so that you get out the door on time. And you realize that while you may have had help, that the majority of the energy, of the effort for these victories has come from within yourself. And you also realize the possibility that this has made you feel depleted or defeated and taken away from that victory. And as you sit, you realize that the statuette is no longer on the altar, but is a figure seated across from you. And as you look upon the face of Nike, she regards you with warmth, joy, compassion, and tells you that every little victory is important, and that the athlete is indeed tired at the end of a long run, and that you should not take this outpouring of energy that resulted in the victory as a defeat, but as a signal for a well-earned rest. And she asks you about your victories. And she wants you to tell her how they were special to you. And as you regale her with your victory, she joins you in this celebration. And as you relive these victories, you also find yourself replenishing your energy. And you realize that celebrating a victory is another way to recover from that victory. And as you talk about these victories, it reminds you of others. And you continue to share and tell her about all these little victories as they come up. You met your personal step goal for the week. And she continues to celebrate. And as you describe more and more of these little and big victories, you realize that there are more people around you celebrating and waving flags and shouting your name and huzzahs and all sorts of other cheerful shouts. And as you celebrate these victories, you replenish your energy. And what before had been a well-deserved tired after having accomplished all these victories is now becoming a peaceful, restful inflow of energy. And you realize that part of the cycle of preparing, accomplishing, and completing a victory is also celebrating it and replenishing and renewing that energy so that you can achieve a new set of goals, a new set of victories. And as you make this realization, a broad smile comes across Nike's face. And she says, remember this lesson well and take it with you. And as you bathe in the glow of that smile, you look up and realize that she has become the statue on your altar again. A reminder of how celebrating your victories is part of the cycle of creating these victories and renewing yourself after a victory. And as that energy that has been brought in, settles into your body, you start to feel the tug of the outer world, the physical plane. And you come back into your body, which is now energized and rested. And you take a few breaths to settle in. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're one with your physical body, open your eyes and be here and be now. So mote it be.
All right. Let's have a closing prayer. Divine Creator, as we celebrate our victories and recognize our own worth, we see that which we achieve comes from you and back to you, that we accept our own victories as part of accepting our own divinity. We thank you for making us aware once again of our connection to you. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Thank you all for being in our circle of light. Please stand with us as we sing our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, really. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God
happy all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Hugs.
It's not that cold in here.